a virtual assembly for week beginning 11th of May. Today's assembly is on the theme of maintaining your mental health and dealing with bereavement. This assembly is for all students at SBL, parents, carers and the wider community. I'm Mr Lyle and I am your host for today's assembly. We're going to start by looking at the main school website, and on there we have a page called Support at Home During the COVID-19 Crisis. There's lots of support and links available there, some of which we're going to look into in more detail in this assembly. Information on coping with lockdown, your mental well-being during this time, keeping yourself safe online, specific health advice from the NHS and the WHO, some support and resources regarding bereavement and anybody going through difficult times at the moment. Plus there's information on domestic abuse, and of course with online bullying, please contact the school if you feel you are suffering from this right now. On the screen now you can see on the right the link to Support at Home During the COVID-19 Crisis, which will take you to the pages we've just seen. So the first resource we're going to look at today is www.nspcc.org. This is always a really good website to go to for resources and support, and they've updated their website with information regarding the current coronavirus pandemic, from talking to your children who are worried about the coronavirus, supporting SEND children, working from home and taking care of your own mental well-being during this time. One section that I would highly recommend is a section on coronavirus mental health and well-being. There's some really good tips on there on how to look after your mental health during this time. Strategies from keeping physically active and making use of that daily exercise, making sure that you're sticking to the staying at home guidance, trying to maintain a regular sleeping pattern, staying in touch with family and friends on video call, and keeping a healthy diet. I would definitely recommend checking out the link that you can see on the page now and see for yourself all of the good strategies that are there. Many of you may already be doing lots of these things. However, you may pick up a few more ideas to keep you going whilst we're still in lockdown. Moving on to the Childline website now. They have some good stuff on dealing with coronavirus and the current situation. If you visit their website, you will find 10 tips to cope during lockdown. As you can see on the screen now, each of these 10 tips has a drop-down menu with some really good ideas. Have a look and see if any of these suggestions could work for you. Now, one organisation that operate locally for young people is Off the Record, and their website is www.otrbristol.org.uk, and they usually run workshops on a Tuesday evening. Now, of course, currently they're unable to do this, so what they're doing instead is they're offering online workshops. You don't have to show your face, you don't have to talk, but these workshops are happening virtually. They're aimed at children aged 11 to 17, and there are 3 virtual workshops that are taking place. The first is one called Harmed, and it's aimed at students struggling with self-harm or thoughts of self-harm. The next workshop is called Mind Aid, and it's aimed at young people struggling with feelings of stress, anxiety, low mood or depression. And finally we have Shameless. This workshop is aimed at those young people who may be experiencing issues around body image and low self-esteem. Again, you can join any of these workshops anonymously with no video or audio if you wish, and for more information the website is www.otrbristol.org.uk. Another organisation that all SBL students will be familiar with is COOTH. Each year group has received an assembly from a COOTH representative, and they have extended their hours for online counselling services. COOTH is a safe space for young people to get counselling from qualified counsellors, and it is funded by the NHS. Locally, there are some very good supports for those who are suffering bereavement. We know bereavement can impact on a child or adult near the time of losing a loved one, and equally sometime after this, typically 6 months or a year later. A good starting point for support for bereavement is the Winston's Wish website. Our fantastic pastoral team continue to work, and as a school we really want to offer the best support for our young people and families. With that in mind, we have devised a secure Google form in which you can report any concern that may have happened during the current COVID-19 crisis. It's a simple form to complete, and it means that as a school we can support the young people effectively either now or when we're planning to reintegrate into school. The form has been tweeted, sent by text and emailed, and you can also find it on the main website. It actually comes up at the top of the pop-up when you visit the website, and it's also available on the drop-down menu under Safeguarding. The school's latest mental health support newsletter has been compiled by Miss Connor and Mrs Morris and will be with you very shortly. On your screen now is the next link, South Gloss Domestic Abuse Helpline. Should anyone be in a position where they need this service, then we encourage you to make contact. So Bernard Lovell Academy are also here for support. And finally, thank you to all students, parents, carers and school staff for their efforts during these unprecedented times. It's been fantastic to see us all as a local community rising to such unknown challenges. And that concludes this week's assembly. It's been Mr Lyle presenting. Thank you for listening. All information correct at time of recording.